Republican lawmakers in Louisiana have rejected a bill that would add the exceptions of rape and incest to a strict abortion ban. On Tuesday, the lawmakers made their decision after hearing testimonies from doctors and victims. Now, the bill was proposed by New Orleans Democratic State Representative Delisha Boyd. Miss Boyd herself, this story is so painful. Miss Boyd herself was born to a 15-year-old mother, and her mother was raped by a 30-year-old man, a man twice her age. Now, her mother was forced to keep Miss Boyd because it was before the protections of Roe v. Wade were in place. Her mother had no choice but to carry the baby of her rapist to term. Now, lawmakers, of course, try to point out that Boyd would not have existed otherwise, right? These are the conservatives said, look, if your mama hadn't been forced to carry you to term, you wouldn't even be here. But she said it was the trauma from her mother's pregnancy that led her mother to a life of drugs and that caused her mom to die before the age of 30. This story is painful. This story is no joke, man. Louisiana is following the same playbook as Texas, Florida, and all these others, Georgia, Mississippi, all these other southern states that have decided that women should have no say over their own bodies, over their own reproductive choices. Now, even if you're pro-life, there are certain things that should be considered exceptional, right? Exceptions to the rule. If a mom is going to die by giving birth, she shouldn't be forced to give birth. You're basically making her force herself to die. If you're molested or raped, carrying the baby of your rapist is an unimaginable horror. And the outcome from being forced to do that kind of thing is exactly what we just saw from Miss Boyd. Exactly what we saw from Miss Boyd, from Representative Boyd. And that is that her mom was forced to carry her to term. And yeah, she became a Democratic state representative. And people could say, oh, look what happens. This is a bright side of the story, right? This is why we should keep kids. But the problem is, first of all, most 15-year-olds who are molested and forced to carry the babies of the rapists, their kids don't turn out to be lawmakers. And the fate of these people tends to be much more like Ms. Boyd or Representative Boyd's mother was, which is that she was traumatized, she was hurt by it, and she was forced to carry this baby, and it led to a life of misery. And we have to think about that life of misery that we're contributing to, that we're facilitating, that we're creating when we force people to do this. So there's the practical reason that the social outcomes aren't good. There's also the ethical and moral reason that why the hell should somebody be forced to have and raise a child from their rapist? It's unimaginable, but that's what's happening. So how do we fix this? What do we do? Well, we look at these states that have these arcane laws or that are bringing up new laws, and we fight back. We organize. We vote. We vote. We vote. I ain't got no magic bullets here, y'all. I ain't got no secret sauce to fix this stuff. You got to vote. You got to vote these people out. Voting is not going to make us free. Voting is not the solution to all of our problems, but voting is a tactic that we should strategically deploy to prevent things like this, because these Republicans aren't playing. They weren't playing about affirmative action. They weren't playing about Roe v. Wade. They're not playing about any of this stuff. They will eliminate every single gain that we've made over the last 50 years if they can, and they are coming for us, so watch out.